just trying to bring something to the table, you know, try to contribute to a team that's already so good.
Yeah, I think anytime you can add a player like him to the room, just create more competition, it's great for the rest of the team.
Give me some respect right now.
Oh, look who it is.
I'm trying to get a reaction.
Salutations. Greetings. Good morning, bestie.
Buenos dias.
Welcome to practice.
This is the last day of this.
I think tomorrow's the last day of this. Another day, another sleigh. Let's get this bread. Okay. Howdy, partner. Look who it is. Good morning, bestie.
Good morning.
Greetings. Hey, Jalen, let's get this bread today. Welcome to practice. Welcome to practice.
Let's have a great day today. Morning. Morning.
What's going on, everybody? Day 17 of Eagles training camp just wrapped up, and the injuries are really starting to pile up. Today they practiced no AJ, no Devonta, not a lot of Lane Johnson, no Landon Dickerson. Andrew Makuba went down during practice. Johnny Wilson was carted off the field. So hopefully they are all fine and these are not long-term injuries. But the question now is, how concerned should fans be about these injuries? And to me, my concern is not that they won't play in week one. I think Devonta, AJ, Lane, Landon Dickerson, Zach Bond's missed time. I think he'll be out there. I think they're going to play week one. My concern is training camp is supposed to get ready for the season. Training camp is when you get your chemistry down. If you're a guard with the center, if you're a safety with the other safety, if you're receivers, it's getting timing down with the quarterback. And I would guess like the starting 11 players on offense have probably played less than 100 snaps together. And it's probably the same on defense when you consider injuries, bringing guys in and out, and jobs up for grabs. So I don't think the concern is that they won't play week one. The concern is how ready can this team be when they're not practicing together a ton. And the good news is they play together. They have last year. There is that chemistry they can lean on. But I know every day I'm out here, like, it's not a lot of AJ, Devonta, Saquon, Goddard, the starting five, and Jalen. It's a lot of Anaya Smith, Darius Cooper. It's a lot of Matt Pryor. It's a lot of Brett Toth. And maybe, that'll be a good thing if those guys have to go in this year. But my biggest concern with the injuries is more so, where's the chemistry going to come for week one, as opposed to if these players will actually not be out on the field in week one. So that'll do it for day 17. Last day tomorrow. See you guys.
Hi, John. Nice to meet you. What was your reaction to the trade?
Of course, I was excited, familiar teammates, I wasn't shocked necessarily, but excited to be here. Some guys reached out to me like Smitty and them, so I was just excited to get here and get going, get acclimated.
Why were you shocked?
I think just going with the flow, just showing up every day. I was not necessarily not shocked, but I was just into my process, not worried about outcomes, situations, lots of things I can't control, just stuck into my process in a sense,
What did he have to say to you when he said Monte reached out to you? What did he have to say?
Just being the first one to welcome me, welcome me to the team, welcome me to the city, just stuff like that.
You guys obviously played together at Alabama. Like, how much do you think that relationship will help you now that you're here?
I'm sure a lot, going to college together, especially being together for like 2 years. You grow up together, you play. In college, you're around each other all day, so you definitely get a sense of each other on the field. So it'll probably help me get acclimated quicker, things like that.
What do you see in the opportunity here in Philly?
Really, I'm just trying to bring something to the table, try and contribute to a team that's already so good. All those other things I don't have any control over. All I really have control is how I show up every day,
What do you think will bring to the table, or what do you think will bring to this offense?
I think just being dynamic. It's such a dynamic offense already, through and through, receivers and the whole offense. I just think being dynamic, guys that can kind of run all routes and things like that.
So, like, what was it like?
Last 3 years of your life, from ACL injury to illness to kind of getting back to football, what perspective you have on those 3 years?
Just kind of being present with everything, living the dream, not worrying about a bunch of things you can't control. I think that's probably the biggest one, and understanding the things that you can control, the things you're grateful for, things like that.
John was just up here talking about your relationship with him. Went down to the Petty School. He hosted you. How close were you guys in that?
Yeah, for sure. That's another relationship that's probably been around since I was in high school. Our situation there with the Petty School, both going to the Petty School, him going to Penn State. I almost went to Penn State. I'm going up there, visits and stuff. So that's just like another one of those relationships in the locker room that I feel like I've known these guys for years, which I have actually. So, I'm excited about that.
Getting traded late in camp, what does your process look like to kind of play catch up now?
Just stick to the same script of your routines, continue to hone in your routine and habits. I think it's just one of those things. It's just noise, Yeah, things are happening. Yeah, you got to move, but you can't deviate from your routine. And you just got to take it in stride. You know what I'm saying?
What was it like going through the first practice? I mean, you got obviously some second team reps, some first team reps, trying to learn the plays at the same time. I mean, what was that like for you today?
It was good. It was a big learning process. I mean, kind of two things are happening. One, it's a mental learning process. You have to learn a new offense and just new scheme, really the words. And then second, it's just football. when you're out there, football is football. You run routes, you play offense against the defense, but it's kind of those two things. One, you keep it football, and then on the other hand, on the mental aspect, you're trying to learn a whole new concept, whole new lingo, things like that.
Missed each other at Alabama, but do you have any sort of relationship with him?
Absolutely. Just kind of through that connection, through that Alabama connection. Definitely haven't spent a lot of time together per se, or like play together and stuff, but just through that Alabama connection.
That helps when you're trying to get on the same page with him now?
I'm sure it's familiarity, knowing about each other, knowing the system or the school. We both went to the same school, both came up in the same school of football, so I'm sure familiarity in that way.
First interaction with Devonta after the trade, did he call you or did you see him here or what?
Yeah, we talked on the phone, and then I was literally here in a couple hours, and then said what up. So I really just got here, so.
What stuff did you bring with you?
A suitcase.
Did Sirio say anything to you? Did the Texans say anything when they traded you? How did they let you know?
Yeah, we just had a conversation. I had a meeting with D'Amico and Nick, and we had a good conversation, talked to the coaches, and then in the next couple hours, I was headed over here.
In that 2022 draft, Eagles were pretty deep in terms of looking at the wide receiver. Did you have communication either with Sirianni, Howie, Aaron Moorhead in that pre-draft process?
Honestly, I can't remember.
I saw Aaron in some reps. He would come up to you and sort of give you a heads up, I guess, to what's going on. Did you have any relationship? Did you know Aaron at all, as far as just in the process over the years?
I mean, yes and no. You meet so many people, but at the same time, it's like it's such a big process going from college to the league. You're really just worried about playing. It's kind of the same thing right now. Like I said, the noise goes up with moving, learning a new offense, a new team, getting ready for a season, getting ready. So it's just you just got to find a way to tune out the noise and keep the main thing as far as what's important to you. And for me, that's kind of getting acclimated as quickly as possible and getting ready to compete.
How long did it take you to physically get back to that player you were in 2021 at Bama?
I don't really ever think you go back to being the same person. I think you always change. It definitely took some time with all the health things, and you kind of have to build yourself back up. And I think I'm a different person. I think I'm a better player, and I think it all helped me for the better as a person and a player.
How are you different?
That's a loaded question. What do you mean, like sports, like athletically, or?
In general.
I think maturity. Something like that happens. You develop a different sense of maturity. Just in the sense of life, you see that you can't take too many things for granted, and the most important thing is your health, right? For you and your loved ones, and aside from that, everything else is just a blessing.
As a player, physically, how are you different?
I think faster for sure. I think more efficient. I think building your body back up, one ACL, and then being down for thing because of cancer, you have a lot of time to really build yourself back up. So I think movement and functionality wise, just a lot more efficient.
Did you get like 9 Alabama players on this roster now, if you count Jalen?
I have no idea. Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, do you have any reaction to that? And Georgia too, like SEC guys?
Yeah, it just feels like home. The locker room just feels like home. The Alabama guys, the Georgia guys, the guys like Jahan and the Penn State guys, just really everyone. It's not necessarily just SEC or just everyone. It has a really good feel.
What do you feel like you revealed in your game in your time in Houston? Where do you think you can build on?
I'm not really too sure about that question because I'm just looking forward. I'm not really looking backwards, and I'm trying to improve my game every day, and I'm always trying to improve my game, and I'm trying to see how I can help contribute here and all those things. So just moving forward.
You think you'll play Friday?
I think that's a decision for the coaches, but I know I'm always ready to step on the field every day and compete.
You've seen two more questions. You've seen Devonta firsthand. What's about something maybe that we don't see that makes him unique to you?
You said unique? Just the person, I'm sure. The person he is. I'm sure you guys have a sense of the person he is and a sense of the player he is. But the person he is super consistent, never changes, and very real, regardless of what's going on or regardless of just anything, So I think that.
If I can take you back to the 2022, that Thursday night game, Devonta wore a T-shirt with, a T-shirt for you before that game. What do you recall from that moment? Because it was, I think, fairly emotional for Devonta.
Absolutely. It just shows that, like, the love that your brothers and former teammates have for you, and that even though we're in a industry that's always going and we have to keep going and on to the next, that they're thinking about you and they have you on their mind. So it definitely meant a lot to me in that moment. Thank you, guys.
John, as a receiver who got here late in the process last year, what would be your biggest piece of advice to John Metchie?
Dive into that playbook, and that's kind of what I've been telling him. Just try to learn as much as possible, as fast as possible, to give yourself the best chance to get out on the field. Because that's truly the only way you can get out there is if you know what you're doing. And he has all the talent, all the tools to be able to be out there. So just to dive in his playbook and make sure he knows what he's doing.
What does it add to the room as far as like competition? Having another proven guy and everything like that. How does that help you guys?
Yeah, it's great. One thing I love about this place, the Eagles, is we thrive on competition. We don't do the complacency. People are never stagnant. We're always pushing each other. That's why they bring the best guys on this team, and we get after it. We get after it with each other in practice every single day, and in our receiver room we push each other. So it's great to add that competition to the room. Because it only brings out the best in everyone in the room. I think it's a really cool opportunity for us.
Human level, what's it like being traded, right? Because we kind of think about it from football, but I imagine there's emotions, there's physical stuff. What's it like in that situation?
Yeah, it's really tough. We were actually talking about this a couple days ago in the locker room. Me, AJ, and Smitty, and me and AJ were talking about just being traded, and how tough of a feeling that is. It kind of feels like you're being betrayed a little bit. But it's the next man up. It's on to the next different opportunity for you, and you gotta take it with that approach. You can't frown upon it. You can't look down upon it. You got to attack it and make the most of your opportunity. You never know what's going to happen in this league. It's a business at the end of the day, and we all know that. But it is tough. But you got to move on to the next. And I feel like that's just life in itself. Something knocks you down. You look at the next obstacle in front of you and attack it.
How long did it take for you to feel like your feet were underneath you? Like, all right, I know where I'm going. I know who the people are, things like that.
Yeah, my first practice. It was pretty quick for me, just because I'm a person who doesn't like to dwell on things. Obviously, it hurt a little bit. I felt that I built a home in Washington, but it's on to the next. If I'm thinking about Washington while I'm at practice in Philly, that's not helping me get any better. It was on to the next for me, and a lot of people around me helped me with that situation, my family, friends. So it was a really easy transition for me, just coming here and picking up.
On that human part of things, how familiar are you with Metchie's background? It's a pretty public battle.
Yeah, I've known Metchie for a while now. Actually, we were supposed to go to high school together. My junior year, actually, right down the road, Petty High School. Down in Hightstown, New Jersey. We were supposed to go there together. He went there the year after me. I think I hosted him my junior year, which is kind of crazy. But, yeah, I've known him for a while. Great dude. Obviously, followed him when he went to Alabama. Had a tremendous career there. And he has a very good skill set that he can add to our receiver room. And like I said, it's competition at the end of the day. He's a very good receiver. He's proven what he can do. And, it's going to push all of us to be better every single day we come out here.
The battle with cancer that he went through, the leukemia, cost him a year.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him during that period?
No, I didn't get to talk to him during that period. Obviously, going through something like that is tough. That's a life-changing battle you have to go through. As I've gone through something like that personally myself. So I know how tough that can be. But he's battled back, and he's out here making plays. So, I'm really happy for him and hope to see better coming forward.
The same draft class, right? Both like early round picks, like your first round, your second round, and everything. How well did you guys get to know each other, like during that whole process, the combine and all that?
I didn't talk to him not too much during the combine. But yeah, like you said, both early round draft picks. Both great skill sets. But yeah, I didn't really talk to him too much during that time period.
Days like today when devonta and AJ aren't practicing, I guess it's kind of like the Bucs game last year. What's it like for you? Is it more attention from the defense? Is it more volume? How do you approach it?
It's the next man up. That's just how it is. Just like last year, you guys saw, we played Tampa. We didn't have either one of them out there. Earlier in the season, AJ was down a little bit. Then Smitty went down versus the Saints. So, it's building those reps because you don't know who's going to go down during the season. It's a long season. So it's truly next man up. And that's why they bring in the best guys because you don't know when things can happen. So for me, it's go out there and make the most of my opportunities just like every other day. Yeah.
You mentioned talk that you had with AJ about being traded. What has he meant to you personally?
Yeah, AJ's meant a lot. Being that I was able to train with him the year I got traded, which is kind of crazy. And then just being a guy who I can talk to whenever. He's been really good. And then obviously being one of the best receiver in the NFL, being able to watch him every day and learn from him, obviously has been awesome. So he's been great. It's been great to be around him and learn from him and just dive in the ball.
Thanks, John.
It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you gonna bring to the doggone table? Are you gonna bust somebody in their mouth? Are you gonna do your doggone job? Are you gonna play from your doggone chest? Are you gonna play from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that. They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating in your doggone chest right now. Whatever you